What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Wednesday, February 27th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay, let's take a look at the point guard position. This is only if Jeff Teague is out. I like Tyus Jones from the Minnesota Timberwolves playing the Atlanta Hawks, who have the absolute worst defense overall, and they give up the absolute most fantasy points to opposing point guards. Tyus Jones has scored 37 and 34 fantasy points in the last two games that he played 28 and 31 minutes. If Jeff Teague is out, Tyus Jones should get the start and should be playing 28 to 31 minutes. Tyus Jones is still only $4,500 DraftKings salary. He's $800 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. This projection hasn't considered Jeff Teague being out yet, but if Jeff Teague is out, Tyus Jones only needs 25 fantasy points to get over 5 times value. There's an implied total of 235.5 points in this game, so that's a huge total. I like Tyus Jones if Jeff Teague is out in a fantastic matchup against the Atlanta Hawks. Remember, we added projected ownership, and that will be updating throughout the day as injury news changes. We also added the fantasy points per minute stat here for each player, and we also added a stat that's new to the industry. We call it the hit percentage, and it's the percent chance this player has to hit value at his current DFS salary. And you can access all these new stats even on mobile devices by tapping the dash rank icon. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Jrue Holiday from the New Orleans Pelicans playing the LA Lakers, who have the 6th worst defense overall and give up the 9th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Jrue Holiday has scored 46, 49, and 35 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 43.9 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 36 minutes per game with a 25% usage rate. Jrue Holiday has played 34 and 33 minutes the last 2 games. So much for limiting his minutes. That's kept people off of him while he's gone out there and scored 46 and 49 fantasy points the last 2 games. Jrue Holiday is $7,600 DraftKings salary. He's $1,600 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 43.4 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.7 times value. It looks like Anthony Davis is going to have his minutes limited, but I don't see that for Jrue Holiday. He can hit value in 30 minutes or more, so I'm not worried about that. There's an implied total of 238.5 points in this game. This is a fantastic matchup in a high-paced game in what should be a competitive game. So I love Jrue Holiday here versus the LA Lakers. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, who do we have at the small forward position? I like Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks playing the Sacramento Kings, who have the 7th worst defense overall, and they give up the 10th most fantasy points to opposing small forwards. Giannis has scored 58 and 56 fantasy points in his last 2 games. He was out last game, but he's probable today to play. Just make sure he's playing before you put him in your lineup. Giannis averages 57.4 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 33 minutes per game with a 32% usage rate. Giannis is $11,000 DraftKings salary. He's $1,100 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 54.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value, and you know he has that 60, 70, 80 point upside. This is a great matchup for Giannis to go off. So I love the Greek Freak here versus the Sacramento Kings. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, who do we have at the power forward position? I like Dario Sarek from the Minnesota Timberwolves playing the Atlanta Hawks, who have the absolute worst defense overall, and they give up the third most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. Dario Sarek has scored 12, 24, and 26 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 21.1 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 25 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. Dario Sarek is $4,300 DraftKings salary. He's $200 more on FanDuel, projected at 22.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's over 5 times value. There's an implied total of 235.5 points in this game. Tons of points to go around. If Dario Sarek gets hot and gets 30 plus fantasy points for you, he's gonna crush value. He's got 40-point upside. He flashes it every once in a while. I love Dario Sarek here versus the Atlanta Hawks. Okay, moving on to the center position. I like Rudy Gobert from the Utah Jazz playing the LA Clippers, who have the 5th worst defense overall, and they give up the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing centers. Rudy Gobert has scored 38, 57, and 38 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 41.4 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 32 minutes per game with an 18% usage rate. Rudy Gobert is $8,200 DraftKings salary. He's $1,500 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 38.5 fantasy points here tonight. He's going to need about 40 fantasy points to get 5 times value. Rudy Gobert has scored 64, 39, and 31 fantasy points in his last 3 games versus the Clippers. I'd really like to see a 50 or more from Rudy Gobert here. I think it can happen in this matchup. It's a fast-paced game, a home game, so I like Rudy Gobert here versus the Clippers. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.